seconds later, utter downpour. They leave and then they come back with an entire family. It helps my heart to know that they are going to a good home. Hello my friends, my name is Ali. I'm the owner and maker behind Ali Mackenzie Crafts, and welcome back to my channel. Tomorrow is a market day and I have several things that I need to accomplish today to get ready. Then I'm going to take you all along tomorrow to the market. We'll see how comfortable I am filming and talking to myself in the booth. I know it's something that I want to get used to, but we'll see what I actually get filmed tomorrow. I definitely will do a walkthrough of my booth before and after, and then give you a breakdown of all of the results afterwards. So right now I want to finish up some plushies that I have parts for. I have these chunky dinos. I have 2 purple, 2 I think blue, and then 2 green in the new, this is the new Cozy Cup. My first time using it. I should talk about it sometime. It's not my favorite. I definitely like Baby Bear a lot better and don't think that they are the same, but nonetheless, that is a tangent. I want to finish up I already made all of the parts for them. I just need to actually physically sew them together and do their spikes down the back. This is a pattern from Dee Dee's Plushies. And so I want to get all of those sewn up so that I have those dinos for tomorrow's market. Another thing that I really want to accomplish is I've had this beautiful baby cow from Mama Made Minis done for about, well, halfway done, I should say, for about a month. Whenever the testing period was, it's Crosby. I tested that for them and started that cow during the testing period and then got inevitably distracted by something else after the period had ended. But I know it's going to be one of my favorite cows I've ever made, so I really want to get that done. So I want to finish that, and then I have a list of some other, this is very messy, but some other makes that I would like to get done for tomorrow. I'm not sure what I will actually accomplish, and it will be a somewhat small market, so I'm not too concerned. Even if I don't have as much inventory as I would like to have, I always set up a list for myself that is not going to be achievable if I continue to do markets and all of the other things that I put into my business. There is only so much time. So I am going to focus on getting some of these makes that are almost to the finish line done, and also getting items tagged. And then I will hopefully also make some smaller items today to add to my inventory for tomorrow. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on these. I will try to film some little montage pieces of me sewing things together, etc. And I will be back to talk to you soon.
There's another way to place my trust in the day. Don't matter if you pay. I wish there was another way to take away the pain. I know I drift, but
Just a little weird quick update. I don't have my mic, so the sound might be completely awful on this. But I was in the middle of working on things and my cat has just been having some issues the last day and a half. And with the market tomorrow, I don't want to risk waiting in case something is going on with her stomach because she's been not keeping her food down. So we're here waiting in the car at the emergency vet to see if we can get an x-ray just to see if anything's going on in her stomach. So I have crochet stuff and it's gonna be like 3 to 4 hours, so talk soon. It's market day, So I am heading out to my market. I have the car all packed. Unfortunately, I didn't get to record the kind of content I wanted because I had to take my cat to the emergency vet and we were there for 5 hours yesterday. So apologies that this isn't as detailed as I wanted it to be, but we're all set to go. The market today is from 11 to 4 and I will be getting there to set up here around 9:25, 9:30. And yeah, market day. I'm already out of breath because it's very high humidity today, so I expect to be drenched in sweat again like the last market, but it is what it is. Let's get going.
Saw you paint a picture of a face that wasn't even close to mine. I know I shouldn't be in love, but it's so hard to move on. You haven't changed, you've stayed the same, but if you did, I'd still love you anyway. I'd give you the world like I promised I would. Even though you...
All right, friends, so we are set up. I am very, very sweaty as anticipated from the humidity, but I'm excited. The market just opened. It's here 11 until 4 today. So I'll do some chickens. Okay, it's noon, so we've been open for an hour. I just made my first sale, so it's very slow. We'll see how today goes. Hello. Everything is 100% handmade by me. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, he took about 16 hours. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Much like anything, with practice, you would be amazing.
Just got Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
Oh my gosh, I want to play that with my son. He's 2.5, and I think he would just love all the little characters. Sorry, yeah.
No.
Here I am with everything's hiding. I guess I could hang things up again. I'm scared it's gonna rain again. Yeah, sorry, things are hidden. She was a fairy. I love that sound. Yeah, oh yes. Well, yeah.
To holiday, and then people are like,
I'll just put it over here.
50 pounds, that's 50 pounds off the I was like, this is such a hard choice. Do you like the moth or the meadows?
I obviously love flowers, so I add them to a lot of things.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
You saw I made like 3 attempts to shop, and my phone kept like
just coming in.
going out.
No, I love it. You all definitely made my sudden downpour, stressful day much better. So thank you.
Maybe people could feel that.
I keep thinking I should bring electrolytes. I only bring plain water, and I'm like sweating so much this summer. I'm like, I need to get electrolytes for this.
So
or even like just bring like a nuts that are salty.
Oh yeah, that's true. Very smart.
The liquid IV has changed my life.
Oh, sorry, it's timed. It's okay. It's just timed.
I feel like my endurance has changed because of liquid electrolytes. Wait, what is that?
A pocket octo.
Oh God.
They're 10. That's the last one I have. I didn't get to make.
A different card.
Absolutely,
since I
yeah.
paid the transaction.
Yeah, I mean, it can be the same card even, but do you want to email?
Thank you.
Bye. Okay, friends, so much happened that I didn't get to update you on. It absolutely poured, like sudden downpour, and let me show you. So I have my snugglers on the end here, and the rain just fully got all over them, but I think they're already drying off because of the heat. But I put my tent walls up. I already took one down, but oh my gosh. And then this adorable family came in, and they honestly made my day. I'll talk a little more about it later, but it was great. Hello.
I'd make a nice, instead of you putting a bow, I have a 2-year-old party coming up.
Aww.
I have some wooden blocks, the old-fashioned kind baby sees and 1, 2, 3s. And that would make a cute bow to put on top of the top.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, they look like frogs.
Yeah, so those are little frogs. They're just like little pocket frogs, and then little whales. This one is as embroidered eye, so it's technically baby. It is baby safe. The safety eyes they recommend for 3 and up, but monitored play is.
So you use that thick yarn.
Yeah, yep. This is a size 6.
Is it mostly crochet?
It's all crochet. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I used to crochet.
Oh,
And I
awesome.
knitted a little bit. But,
Yeah, I always want to try knitting. I haven't found the time. Yes. Yep. It's $5 for this.
$5 even?
Yep. Unless it's on card, but yeah, if you're doing.
I lost my credit card last week.
Oh no! Oh my goodness!
I have a bundle of money right now.
Would you like a bag?
Yeah,
I
think so, to protect it. My purse is a little dirty.
Yeah, no worries at all. Yeah, the yellow can be. Yeah. I love that idea of using it like a bow on top.
Yeah,
That's
I
cute.
like to do something like that.
Yeah, that's a really adorable idea. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of your day. Try to stay cool.
I know, it's really good under these tents.
I know, yeah. It's like.
Because the sun comes out occasionally, then I guess you get really
Yeah. And there was a sudden, I only had this back wall up from the sun, but there was a sudden downpour, and so I had to quickly throw them up.
Get the little chair.
From Michael's. Yeah, I'm like, he's the king of the market today. But he's for sale, but he's the king.
We have another one here.
Yeah, yep.
We have a queen.
Yes, exactly. I should have gotten 2 chairs.
I did wash my hands.
Oh, no worries. You are all good. Thank you so much. All good. Have a good rest of your day. And thank you.
Saw you paint a picture of a face that wasn't even close to mine. I know I shouldn't be in love, but it's so hard to move on.
All right, friends, I just spent the last hour tearing down and packing my car in 90-degree heat with a lot of humidity. So I'm sure you can tell my face is very red and very sweaty, very tired. I'm going to head home, and I will do a recap sometime in the next day or 2. Hello, friends. It's been a few days since my market. Unfortunately, got hit with a very bad 2-day migraine immediately following it, which I should have predicted because I got very overheated. And whenever I get exhausted and don't eat enough food, I get a migraine. And so I need to do a better job of making sure I eat enough food at markets. So just a tip for anyone out there looking to do markets and get into it. It's definitely very important to bring lots of snacks and lots of water. I did have the water covered for Sunday, but unfortunately I did not eat enough food. So I got hit with a migraine. Fortunately, I'm feeling better today. I did run into a few other issues this week. Namely, my PC needed a bit of an upgrade so that my video rendering didn't take a million hours. So we are all set. We're back in business. And I appreciate you all bearing with me as I get into a good rhythm with my posting schedule. I will have some kind of set day or days for posting in the future. Right now, I'm just trying to make sure that I provide high quality content. So I'm taking the time I need to produce these videos, but I do plan to post at least one video a week going forward once I have that cadence. So thanks for bearing with me, and let's get into the market. I had a market on Sunday, July 20th. It was in Hershey, Pennsylvania. If any of you know about Hershey Park, it was very close to the park. In fact, I could see some of the roller coasters that I grew up riding right from my booth, which is always a nice experience. I love Hershey Park. It was, however, as I anticipated. I mean, I said it in my last video, it was a very slow market. So I got there, I set up, and I was all set up and ready to go by 10:45, filmed some content and sat down. My husband and son had come to help me set up initially. I filmed some content and they headed out, and I sat there for over an hour. I had my first sale. My first sale wasn't until 11:59 when I sold a possum. Again, I made 2 possums and both of them sold. So these possums really are my best seller so far this year. And I do plan to continue making them. And some other possum varieties that I've had my eye on, like the All From Jade pattern. I also have a pattern test for a friend coming up that's possum related, so I'm excited to continue the possum trend for 2025. I then sat for another hour and didn't sell anything until 12:50 when I sold another possum. That was the second possum I had made. So it was a very, very slow start to the market. I, of course, enjoy talking to some of my vendor neighbors and just enjoying the outdoors and the fresh air. However, it was 90 degrees, so I had a fan blowing on me the whole time, which I'm sure you noticed from the video. Had some nice hair flipping going on the whole time, but I definitely needed it. So apologies for the aesthetic of the videos, but I was sweating. And then my next sale happened immediately after. I had this sweet teen girl come in. She saw it's a chonky Light Fury from Erin's Yarnimals. And I've had that one for a little bit. It's actually, I love it. It has eyes from one of my best friends, Nerdy Girl Crochets. She makes the best Fury eye, Light and Night, she calls them. So I sold that chunky Light Fury finally. She's been with me for a while, but this girl walked in and immediately loved it. And it made me very happy. And it meant that I broke my booth fee, which was something I was concerned about when I had not made any sales except for only made a couple tiny sales. I sell my possums for $15, so I'd only made $30 in almost 3 hours. So I was a little worried that I was not going to break that booth fee, which was $60. I finally broke that fee. I sold the chunky Light Fury for $40. At that point, however, I sat for maybe 20 minutes, and then there were a few drips on my tent. As you saw from the videos, I did have my back wall up. I decided to do that for a few reasons. Number one, the sun was shining very harshly on me at the beginning of the market, and I am very fair skinned, so I didn't want to risk burning even with sunscreen. So I decided to put one wall up. And also the people behind me were also selling some crochet. It was in acrylic yarn, or mostly worsted weight. I think it was acrylic. So not a direct comparison or competition or anything like that, but it was kind of nice just to have a little barrier to separate us as separate entities. So I had one wall up. I heard a couple drips on the tent. on the roof of it. And I thought, probably nothing. Seconds later, utter downpour. I stood up very quickly, and I was alone at this market, so I stood up very quickly, grabbed my tent walls out of the bag, and raced out in the downpour to get 2 of my side walls up. Unfortunately, some of my plushies did get a little damp. They dried very quickly thanks to the weather, so that was nice, but I definitely was racing for my life to protect them because the wind started driving sideways. So I needed those walls up as soon as possible. And while I was getting those walls up, a small group came into my tent. It was a woman, and I think it was two younger teens. And it was one actually. Initially it was one woman and one teen girl. And they were looking around, and I apologized because I was, outside and racing around getting all the Velcro set up. And I told them, obviously, please stay in here to get out of the rain, and no pressure to buy, and let me know if you need anything. And when I finally sat down in my very drowned rat state, they were deciding between multiple items and having trouble picking what they were going to get, and a whole pile of things. And I was honestly shocked. They actually wanted to be in my tent. They weren't just there for respite. They were really excited about the things I made. And so at that point, they purchased my sitting axolotl that I made recently from Dee Dee's Plushies. I sold that one for $25. My regular axolotl I do from Crochet Grove for $15, and Dippy the Dino from Snuggle Beans Crochet, which was my second sploot that I made for my test for Shannon, along with Darth, which I sold at my last market. So that one sold, and I sold Dippy for $55. I think I sell my Darths for $65. They take a little more time because you have to add horns and wings and everything. And for the Dino, it's a lot less parts. So I sell the Dino for $55. And they purchased all 3 of those items in one transaction, and they were considering more. And so that was a really lovely experience. The sun finally came out. It downpoured for maybe 20 minutes. They leave, and then they come back with an entire family. So I come to find out that this family is visiting from Long Island. They have a timeshare in our area, and they come down from Long Island once a year and as a family stay in the Hershey area. And they all completely made my day. So it went from slow, barely any sales, barely making my booth fee, worried I was going to make maybe $10 for all of my time sitting there all day. And they come in and just completely make my day. They love everything I made. They couldn't decide between different items. The youngest that came in, he was probably about 14, and he fell in love with the mermaid snuggler that I made. And I think that was the sweetest thing, because eventually throughout all the transactions, his grandmother bought it for him. And first of all, I love when we see gender norms being broken. So I love that this young boy was obsessed with the mermaid that I made. And I loved her too, so I get it. And I just absolutely, it made me so happy to see him. He put it on his shoulder and was snuggling her when he walked away. And it absolutely made my day. Most of them were teens, and one of them was obsessed with one of the Koroks from Crafted for Comfort and bought that. One was obsessed with Floor, the flower from Lemon Cat Crochet that I made, which was actually honestly one of my favorite makes of all time. And he got that one. Just so many. It was such a good experience, this family. And they made my entire day. Honestly, most of my sales went to them. I sold overall for my day, I sold 21 items. And then just for that family, I sold 13 of the items. I sold 13 of the items to that family. So they made my entire day. They made it a very good experience, the way that they loved my work. And it just, to go from having a day where I was scared that I was going to have my worst market ever to having a pretty good day made me feel a lot better about getting completely soaked in rain and then also sweat. So it was nice to have that experience. A few other things they purchased that I didn't mention yet. My Noibat that I had made last year for Jayla, Joyfully Meraki, that sold. The flower moth I made for Millie Red Mills Crochet sold. The meadow sprite that I made for Kelsey, Crochet with Kelsey, sold. The spooky squid I made for Crafted for Comfort from the squid toy that Coraline has in the film Coraline. That sold. A chonky standing dino that I had for, that I had made. You saw some of the footage. It was one of the ones I had made the day before I had to take my cat to the vet, which, quick insert, but she's completely better. She's acting completely normal. I'm so happy. So I should give that update. And the chonky dino is something I have regularly. So I'll say I sell those for $20, and they sell well at that price point. So if you're looking to sell those, I highly recommend it. The little duck in a frog hat, which I sell those for $12, they sell great at $12. So again, another hot item if you are looking to sell kind of a smaller item for a good price point. That one does very well for me. Yeah, I mean, those are the main things they bought. They also bought a blueberry that I made recently from I bought a fruit and vegetable pack from, I think it's Tiny Friends Crochet. I'll obviously post it up here. And so that blueberry sold. And I just, they loved everything that they were deciding between multiple different items that they didn't even pick up. So that was a very, very good experience. After they left, I made 5 more sales. I sold a pocket octo, one of the mini creatures from Crochet with Kelsey's claw machine buddies that I put in my $5 basket. One of those sold. The duck, the chick. The chick always sells. So I actually made both of those at the market, and I put them out, and one of them sold right away. So that was nice. I sold my small otter, my little otter buddy. I sell those for $15. Those always sell. I only made one this time and it sold. The chonky banana that I made recently for my friend for a pattern test, Little Lemon Stitches, it sold for $15. And another one of the dinos from Dee Dee's pattern sold for $20. So I'm very happy that I made those dinos the day before. I actually had all of the parts ready to be sewn. They were all crocheted before Jubilee Day, my last market that my last video was about. And I planned to sew them and finish them up at Jubilee Day. But the yarn and everything, it was so humid that the yarn was literally squeaking anytime I touched it with any kind of metal, which my sewing needles and obviously my crochet hooks both have metal on them. So I didn't work with yarn at all that day. So I had all the parts ready. I'm glad I built them and got them together for this market because 2 of the 6 sold. And for a slow market, that tells you just how well they'll do. And again, that $20 price point, they've sold very well every market that I've had them at. So highly recommend that pattern from Dee Dee. You can find it in my patterns link down below. So that was everything I sold. Again, only 21 items, but I just want to tell one more anecdotal story before I get into those final numbers. So I had some time before the rainstorm, there was this sweet family that came in. It was a mom and 2 daughters. They loved everything in my booth. They were commenting on so many of the items, but then they saw the Luna Moth Dragon, which I made for Millie Red Mills Crochet last year for a pattern test, and they were obsessed with it. The mom took it down and put it over one of the daughters' necks because it has a very long tail, and she was obsessed. She said she wanted it for her birthday, and the mom said, at this price point, I have her for $200. At this price point, that would be your only present. And the daughter said, I want this. So the mom said they didn't come prepared to spend anything at the market that day, but she took my card, and then she followed me on Instagram and liked the photo from last year. So I don't know. It might be one of the instances where someone actually does reach back out. We'll see if her daughter still wants it whenever her birthday is or Christmas. And if I still have her, hopefully I do. She does get a lot of attention every market. She's one of my statement pieces. I like to have a lot of my bigger dragons out just to take up some of the statement spots. So like the top of my grid system is where the Luna Moth Dragon sits. The dragon that I have at the front that you saw in the clips, that's kind of blue, and I did custom made cloud shapes to do his spine down his back. I call him my puppy dragon. I tell everyone that. I have him sitting there intentionally so that people, when they're passing by, because of his cute eyes and the style the dragon's designed in, which that pattern is by Crafted in Dragonfire. She is amazing, and that pattern is a lot of effort, definitely. It took a very long time. That's why it's priced so high. I priced that one at $215. I love it. I love it so much. So I call him my puppy dragon because he's just asking for pets. And that's what I tell everyone as they pass my booth. And inevitably, even when I don't say it, sometimes people are patting its head. So I always have a couple statement pieces right at the front of my booth. The Luna Moth Dragon is usually one of them. So I'm excited. I hope that they reach out and want to purchase it still, because it was such a special make. And the mom said that the daughter would take such good care of it, that all of her toys and everything are immaculate. And I know I have no say in what happens to my plushies after I sell them, obviously, but it helps my heart to know that they are going to a good home. So I would love for the Luna Moth Dragon to go home with that family and be well taken care of, because I put a lot of love into that one with all of the special details and everything that I've done. So I'm very excited to see if they reach out. Now I'm just going to go over my final numbers. So like I said a couple times now, I sold 21 items. The base cost of all of those items added up in my system is $584. My booth fee was $60. The fees I paid to Shopify, most transactions were card transactions. I only took in $67 of cash. So the fees I paid were $15.14. And then some other fees, the extra tax fees that I'm still figuring out that I need to cover from those $67 cash transactions is $4.02. So overall, I made $505 from this event. It was shockingly a good day. I was very happy with $500 for an event that I expected to make maybe $200 because of how slow it usually is at that location. So it was very nice to have that day turn around from extremely slow to downpour to suddenly having this beautiful family from Long Island make my entire day. And I obviously every other customer I had that day was incredibly special, and I'm so grateful for all of them. So that's my market wrap up from my market. I hope that you were able to gain some kind of helpful information from this video. As always, my pattern links and all of my favorite items that I use for my market setup are all linked below in the description. If you have any questions or can't find anything, please let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe below if this is the kind of content that you enjoy seeing. And I hope to have another video for you soon. Again, I do plan to get into a regular rhythm and have a normal posting schedule. I'm just navigating and figuring it all out. So thank you for bearing with me. But until the next video, bye.